Welcome to the testing world. So previously we have seen what is web service and web-based application and what is the difference between the web service and web-based application. Now I'll show you few advantages of web service over the web-based application. So first and the biggest advantage is it's a platform and the language independent. What does it mean? Okay, I'll give you an example. I'm coming to an image which I've shown previously here. I'm talking about the make my trip. So here, if I take an example, make my trip server is in Unix environment. So it's a Unix environment, and it might be possible this Indigo is a Windows environment. Here, two applications which are placed on the different environment are going to communicate with each other, but this communication is taking place through data exchange. It could be XML, it could be JSON, it could be any other. So it doesn't matter in which environment my applications are deployed. It is not going to make any difference. So here advantage, it is platform independent. Platform could be anything. When we are calling any web service, so these are the web service provider. It could be on a different platform, and web service consumer could be on the different platform, and it's not going to make any difference. So it's a platform independent. In the same way, it's a language independent. It might be possible make my trip application is developed in Java, and Jet Airlines application is developed in .NET. But still, we are communicating between the two applications through a common data exchange mechanism. It could be JSON, it could be XML. It's not going to make any difference because XML is same for Java as well as .NET. So again, I'm going to communicate with the two applications, and there is no impact of their programming language. So a web service are platform and the language independent. So we can easily integrate two and more application together. Their platform and language is not going to make any barrier. Second is easy and fast integration between the two applications. Okay, if I take an example of the web-based application and I want to integrate two web-based application, so it will take a lot of time. Even the language should be same of two web application, but here it's a easy integration just because here first application is sending a request. It could be in any format. I'm taking example of the XML format, and we are just putting the data to sending to the web service, and web service is picking that XML data which is coming from here, processing its request, and at the end sending output back again in the form of XML. So here it's a very easy integration. We need not to go for any direct integration. We are just doing the task by following the data exchange. So it's a very easy and fast integration between two or more application. And here if you notice, we are doing the integration of two or more than two application. Make my trip with Indigo, with Jet, with Air India. So here multiple applications are communicating together, and this is done very fast and in very easy manner just because we are passing data and receiving the data again in a common mechanism which is XML. So no need for direct integration. So ultimately two applications are working together without direct integration. So this type of integration is very fast and easy to develop. Most important point is web service allow access to multiple applications. What does it mean? Okay, I just moved to one more example here. My web services are developed. So now we can access that web service from other application which are web-based application, from the mobile application, from the application which are running on the tabs, and later on it might be possible in future if we get any other device, like if we got smartwatches and we want to access the same application from the smartwatches. So same web service can be accessed from other devices as well. So advantages, web services are developed once which can be accessed by different applications. So I take an example here on the Make My Trip. Here Make My Trip has developed their web, and this website is sending data to the server, Make My Trip server, and Make My Trip server sending a request to the Indigo or Jet or Indian Airlines. We are doing the same task. In the same way, Make My Trip developed their mobile application. So this application is also sending a request to the make my server, and behind the scene make my server are using same request and response which are used for makemytrip.com, or I'll say web-based application. So advantage is, now it could be any number of devices, any different kind of application which are using these web service behind the scene. So again, in future, if we got few more devices and we have to generate a application for these devices, like in future we are using smartwatches, and make my trip want to launch their application for the smartwatch as well. That application which is developed for the smartwatch is sending request to the make my trip server. So behind the scenes, same web services are called for the smart watch as well. So again, it will be easy to develop new application because all the applications behind the scene are using same web services. That's all we have for this session. Thanks for watching this video.